Hello, how are you? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm really excited to share this video today, and I just wanted to jump on real quick and kind of preface the video because this isn't one that we normally share. Teresa and I do channels at home, and a lot of times they're lengthy and private. They just don't normally get posted. It's more of like our private collection, but this one had a lot of really good information come forward. After a little bit of thought, we were like, this would be a really good one to post, especially right now. We are going to have to split it into two videos, so there will be a part 1 and a part 2, just because nobody's going to sit here and watch an hour-and-a-half long video. So we will split it up into 2 pieces. I hope you guys enjoy it. I think there's some information in here that a lot of people will enjoy hearing, can relate to. I also just wanted to put something out there because I know I'm taking a lot of time for myself right now, and I hope you are too. The energies are very high, and I feel like we are being balanced and kind of sized for our armor and just like what's next, So, but we're doing good. And I hope you're doing good, and I really hope you enjoy this channeled message because it's delicious. So I love you. I hope you're well. Bye. There is a new altitude that is needed in Crystal's channel. What we are asking of her is to come into a place where she is a vessel, where there is no intertwining of her personality and ours. There is just the expression of information that is being called forward by those who are in the presence of her. She doesn't quite understand this at this time, and her egoic structure fights us. This has happened once before. When she gets comfortable in a way of channeling, when she gets comfortable in a way of bringing in information, it is hard for her to break out of those parameters, and that is what we are asking her to do. What we are trying to explain is that the level of us and the level of her that is mixed together for her session work when she is channeling for others is in a much more grounded state. And what we are asking of her lately is a deepened co-creation where she allows herself to be in the state of free flow, where she allows herself to be in the state of an open heart, where she allows herself to be in her body and be the channel at the same time. And it's new. So be easy. Don't be hard on yourself when things go awry. Do as you are doing and come right back. Just come right back. You are building trust here that is asking you to be a channel in ways that you have not. There is a lot of information that is ready to come forward. A lot of information that has been stacked in the halls of this ship for a long time. A lot of information placed in etherical folders, if you will, compartmentalized bit by bit to be received by this human vessel, only then to be placed together in dynamic form when you are ready. Right now, you are not ready for the fullness of what these folders give you as they come together in a congregation of light. But what you are ready for is the stepping into yourself that allows yourself to move out of the way and allow us to be more present and in deeper form with you. You don't have to be wary. We will prove to you our allegiance And should you not agree with, and should you not feel harmony with our connection in this way, you can stop at any time. But we are asking that you become more brave. And it's not us without you. So please know that you too are asking yourself to become more brave. Lean into the places where the information flows. Just lean in. We also want to say at this time, everything that is transpiring in your life is exactly as it's supposed to be. Even the places where it looks like things are falling apart, it is exactly what you had chosen, and not chosen because you wanted the experience of what it would feel like to be in fear over your money, but the experience of having that move itself out of your higher vibrational life and managing your energy as it exits. The money will not come back in the way that you see it, ever. And so the only thing that you can make peace with is what you are finding inside of yourself that is needing to co-create and come together to be okay in the new transition of your financial system. Your abundance will be so much more. Feel worthy of it. Accept your path with where things are right now. We are not saying don't move forward, but stop trying to change this. Stop trying to change this. Create what is next. There is a difference between changing these circumstances, feeling into the circumstances of this reality and feeling the need to morph it into something else, versus being okay where you are. Trusting yourself to be in this space and still be okay, because you are the truth. You are the sovereignty. You are the light. And from this vantage point, allow yourself to move into what is next. Don't try and fix your monetary system inside of your experience. Figure out who you are outside of your monetary system. And then it gets easier. There is nothing wrong. And it would flow quicker and easier if you didn't think that the dismantling of the monetary system She is getting caught in her words, trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what she's hearing so she can know what she needs to say next. Yet it is not her. And when she does this, she cuts our flow off. But this is our process. Do not be afraid. This is not a failure of your ability to report our information, your information. This is a learning curve of what telepathy really looks like. This is a learning curve of how distorted the flow can get when you intervene. You have leveled up into new chords of frequency, You must practice yourself here without judgment. There is a deep aspect of the egoic structure that is trying to remain in control. It is the wound from the higher self that has grown. We call her Kathy. Kathy is also the one that wants to figure it out while we speak. She is not only the one that is in your mind, chatterboxing away. She comes here. She goes everywhere with you at this time. She is the voice of the matrix. You all have a voice of the matrix. And the role of the way shower at this time is learning how to relinquish that voice of the matrix. Step one for many is going to be identifying it. This is why we give it a name. When you give it a name, it's easier to identify. It begins to take on a persona of its own. And in that, it is more noticeable when it is coming forward. And we joke about Kathy because we know it gathers your attention. We don't want you to be hard on her. We want you to teach her. We want you to reparent her, reminding her that it's okay to have thought, but don't interrupt. Fine-tune yourself. Come back. Let us teach you how to be here. Your answers will never come from the space of the egoic filter, because the ego wants to keep you in a space that is familiar. And we joke and say that there is caution in the ego. There is caution in the personality structure that wants to aid you along. But more than caution, it is a fear that Kathy has, that if she doesn't direct Auxil in the right way, Auxil's heart will be broken time and time again. And Auxil just needs to be louder than Kathy. Auxil's presence needs to be in the forefront, not waiting to see what happens, but taking charge. Letting Kathy know she is loved, but she is not needed. There is a very large movement happening within those who are awake. And the distraction upon your planet of collective energy is keeping you misaligned from what you are wanting far more than anything else in your reality. The training of being focused on another's energy field when you are present, on another's thoughts and ideas when you are with them. Their body language, their unspoken agenda. You have been trained by the matrix to be involved in all of these frequencies. And it makes it difficult at times to understand what a beautiful and profound creator, container of light that you are. There is so much fear in her body. It is okay to release it. There's so much fear in her body that you would think she wants to stay here on this planet with that level of control. fears of being manipulated. She didn't know that she had that still in there. We just want her to know that the more she comes and allows us to be with her, we will teach her how to step outside of Kathy's classroom. Kathy is the inner teacher. She is not just the chatterbox and the jibber jabber that happens in Crystal's mind. Kathy is also the one that structures the information that is received. She is the one that places it into clear linear form so that Crystal feels like she has inner organization. Without Kathy, things feel unsafe. And everyone has an inner Kathy. Everyone. And it is time to identify that voice and begin to let go. Because what is coming cannot come in the classroom of Kathy. Kathy doesn't have the tools to show you how to get there. You must lean on the higher self. And Kathy cautions you of the higher self because Kathy wants to have the personality engaged enough that she can still know what is happening, just like a nosy mother. Just like a nosy mother. She has to be within earshot so that she can regulate all systems. What happens when Kathy retires? Practice that flow of energy. Practice sovereignty outside of Kathy. Who are you? Who are you when the personality is not present? This matters. Your personality is a strong hindrance to what you are asking to come into fruition of here and now. And we will say this time and time again. Your personality is Kathy. She learned best how to keep you safe. She has integrated the experience of the human and the light and allowed it for a long time to intertwine and merge along this path, creating a revolutionized human that can walk between two worlds. And isn't it funny that at the time that you are being introduced to this aspect of your persona, you are also being asked to let it go. It's not serving you. She wants to help you figure it out in the old world, and it's not serving you. She wants to help you navigate it through the old program, which you've already received and downloaded. Sure, it worked at one time, but it's not working anymore. And she wants to take this information from the light and bring it back through that winding web of tunnels that had been created inside of you to get here. And you want to go back, Kathy? She doesn't know any other way. Yet when you are here with us in the light of everything that you are, you can see how varied our stance is, even though from your perspective of personality of Crystal, it can feel the very same. Yet it's not. Kathy loves you. She protects you, yes. She flows through massive amounts of inner information, weeding out the things that she feels are irrelevant for you at this time, based on your energetic availability. She is very good at keeping your container whole, but she is not very good at letting you come outside of the container. That was her job. Keep you in the container. But how do you innovate new pathways of light if you're only bringing the light in the old way? For what you are readying to bring to the planet, you must surrender. And the greatest analogy that we can give you to that surrender is the idea of Kathy and Auxil. Both are good. Both love you deeply. Both deeply want what's best for you. Both have two different perspectives. One is a product of the matrix. One is a product of God's creation. And now that you have been elevated into the light, what do you choose? We know. Keep choosing her. Keep letting go. Let us in and let go. Let us in and let go. You will feel safe surrendering to this information, surrendering to the guidance that is present with you. The more you come here. This is not a space you give to the others. This is your space. And this is where it's gotten backwards. This is a space that you so easily give to the others. This is not a space that feels comfortable for you, so we are sitting in it. What have we discussed? When it feels uncomfortable, sit in it. It's giving you information. When it feels vulnerable, be with it. It will give you information. When it feels open and unsafe, be with it. It will give you information. You are transforming and you are right on time. We are not going back. And by we mean the council of beings that is here present with you always. We are not going back. We are going forward. We are going forward into the exploration of what this contact means for humanity and for what it means for the both of you. We are never going back. We're not going back in money. We're not going back in thought. The best thing you can do to bring in more abundance is to continue to create in the energy of what is new, what is fresh, what is coming. Understanding that the ideals of prosperity are connected and intertwined with your worth so deeply, because that is the only way they knew they could get you. Diminishing your light. You are no longer engaging in a program that is diminishing your light to pay you abundance, like a rat in a maze. Like a rat in a maze, you've been starved of connection. And when you get your payout, your reward, you feel like you've done something right. yet you're starving. You're starving. You're starving, earthlings. This wasn't the way the connection was supposed to be. It was always supposed to be you and God. And everything that got taken away from the connection between you and God and placed into the hands of man has been destroyed through greed and power. There is no other place where there is an exchange for goods that is so diminished in the likes of your monetary system. Please know that the reason you are pulling back from this energy and the reason that you can't control it if you tried is because it's not supposed to be in your field any longer. So how can we get you to understand differently about prosperity and what that means? What it means to attract. We hear you. How do you pay the bills? We hear you. But you wouldn't, because that goes out the door with the money. And that's how they get you. Because you keep thinking about your bills, which keeps you indebted to the money. You can be free from the money. And it doesn't mean that you're going to walk free from the money just yet. But you can create the space that is engaging in your abundance and prosperity in the higher realms, which will usher in a very fluid avalanche of being cared for and taken care of at these times. You are in transition. This is not the time for full of bank accounts. You are in transition. This is not the time for the fruiting of the vibration. This is the time to hold steady. This is the time not to create change, but to dig your heels into the things that you know and allow yourself to hold steady, consistent, committed, devoted to what you're building and bringing to this planet. You would never walk across the bridge being upset that you couldn't take the birds from the other forest into this new place with you on the other side. We don't know how to get you to relinquish the ideas of your monetary system. We can only continue to give you and deliver to you information that gets you to let go. Not cling, not hang on, not crave more, not want more. But to be okay, and not in the having of less, because you have more than you ever have, but in the letting go of the ideas of the matrix and the monetary system. You let go of the fear. You let go of everything that is splitting your energy. You don't need it. You don't need it at all. And they tell you that you need it, and that you must stay within their system of structure and payment, or you have failed. And this is a joke, we say, in their desperation to contain you. You are a system of payments to them. The large corporations know that they will receive your money in bouts of rent and utilities. Large corporations receiving all of your money and stress, and they like it. They thrive on it because they live in that matrix. pull out. Pull your mental engagement out of this warfare. Pull your mental engagement out of this warfare. What are you willing to participate in? That is what it comes down to. We love you. The new earth is around you. Create from your soul, create from your upper chakra system, create from your divine feminine that you are learning to encompass in this body now. You have everything that you need. And once you begin to shift your awareness into this space, away from the duality of the matrix, the necessity of their rules, it's not that everything shifts and changes immediately, externally, but everything shifts and changes within. And what does it feel like to not feel the fear of the money? To not have to be motivated by the fear of the money? You would still act because you know that you're playing a game, but you would not give them your luge. Not one drop. You would know who you are in that space and walk as such. Owning your role in the matrix as this pillar of light, coming here to shift the tides, laughing at the beings that are still barking from the matrix, knowing so deeply who you are and why you're here. The idea that there is a purpose of doing is also from the matrix. And when people come into this energy of trying to find their purpose, they're seeking the structure of the matrix within this soulful place that is limitless and non-linear. Accept your highest timeline. Accept your highest timeline. That is one of you being a master, an ascended master who has done this time and time again. An ascended master who has done this time and time again. Sure. Do you know exactly what to expect here on earth? No. Does your soul truly care? No. It's the ego that cares. It's the ego that says, what happens next? What happens next? The soul knows that it is here to create a balance of energies, an energetic experience. And as long as you are engaging in that energetic experience, you will feel the satisfaction that you've come to this planetary realm for. You did not come here to live in this matrix reality, and the sooner you get out of it, the better you're going to feel. And what do we mean by get out of it? Can your physicality not be somewhere that your mind is not engaging? Of course it can. Of course it can. Your physicality many times can be present in a room while your mind and headspace is focused in other dimensions, other places, other daydreams, other expectations of what could be happening here and now. You do it all the time. So why can you, this beautiful light worker, this beautiful being that came to lead the way, why can you not stand here, direct center in the middle of this matrix and be the light that you came to be? You can. You just choose not to. but you can. And it's not about knowing a way and knowing a system. That is the matrix. The matrix is the system. The matrix is the organizing of all that is. And in a set understanding or a set outcome that is aligning you to an expectation. But when you are outside of the matrix, don't you know that the expectation is yours because it exists already? And the manifestation and materialization of that energy is only a matter of alignment? And that's the fun part. That's what we think anyway. You have to let go of the old world to create the new one. And while you have let go of the old world, in many ways, in many, many ways, even the light workers are still clinging with everything inside of them. They are trying to examine their truth through the matrix. They are trying to examine their understanding of their soul self through the concepts and constructs of the matrix. And then they can't figure out why it's not working. What is the one thing that you are not allowed to do in the matrix? Be. Why? Why is just being the antithesis to the matrix? Because it blows it up. Because everything that you are cannot be contained by this box. Because everything that you are is so magical and expressive that the first thing it does is explode away all of the illusion that is held when you are placed in any sort of container, including this human vessel. You are an illusion in this body because there is an understanding that this is all that you are, and it is not true. These physical bodies are containers, which means once they are filled, they are filled. But the sustenance that they are filled with is what matters. And just because this container is full doesn't mean there isn't more. Isn't that funny? Outside of the matrix, there's always more. Outside of the matrix, you can empty this container and it could get refilled with more. So much more that there are parallel realities of you and you and you and you and you and you. More of you and more of you and more of you. Living out every experience you could ever imagine. And if you could pull yourself outside of this container, what amazing information there would be there for you. This is our long drawn out speech in telling Crystal to trust us. That she is so much more than what she sees here. So much bigger than what she sees here. And she cannot find purpose because purpose must be contained. Purpose must be contained to an avenue of expression. And that is something that she will never be. You will never be one avenue of expression because you are here with us and you are in other places, experiencing other realities. And you are also here in other realities on earth, experiencing different densities and levels of experiential density that you didn't even know that you needed. You are so much more. And this is where the satisfaction is, sweet one. Yes, be in your physical body, but contain the awareness of the soul outside of the physical body, as it will give you the clarity and the steps forward that you seek.